Alright, am I live? Am I live? I think I'm live. I should be live. Man, I should probably have planned this a little better. I'm not getting any picture on the YouTube. On the YouTube. Wow. What a good start. What a beautiful start. Oh, right, so I'm live. Let's go. So, welcome. I'm gonna take a look at I'm gonna take a look at a couple of altcoins for you guys. I'm gonna take a look at Pearl. No, I'm not gonna take a look at Pearl. I'm gonna take a look at EOS. EOS USDT on Binance. So yeah, let's go. Oh, setup. Yeah, it's a good looking setup to be honest. Right. So I'm not gonna show you any specific setups, obviously, because this is a public stream on YouTube, and I'm only gonna share my setups in the Burb Nest community for all the burbs in the Burb Nest. All right, so. Like, I want to show you guys. You start off by a completely naked chart here on EOS, and like, I'm gonna show you something really beautiful here. Really, really beautiful. Right, so that's first we're gonna mark out a level. Obviously, it's gonna be on horizontal level because horizontal levels are the only levels to care about. Anything else is just noise. Alright, so I like this wick. This wick looks like a good wick. So I'm gonna use that one as yeah, it does look pretty good. Like, use this wick to these highs up here. Yeah, okay, so alright, so this is gonna be the level I'm gonna be watching, right? So obviously a very important level. Wick down here on the weekly. Obviously a very nice move from using this as support. Broke down, very powerful breakdown here. Used as resistance, broke above. Support, broke down. Retested it, bearish retest here. And came down, right? And we are now approaching the same level. Now look at this, guys. This is why I think this chart is so beautiful. So let's put on the RLC. And you guys know me, right? I love the RLC, right? So right, so here we go. Now, do you see what I mean? So right on this SR level right here, we have the midpoint of the RLC. You know what that means? That means we have some nice confidence in this area. And let's look at the moving averages, because like, so we have a horizontal support and resistance, right? We have a horizontal resistance here on the weekly. So obviously when you have a SR level on the weekly, that's a strong level. And we have the confidence between the SR level and the midpoint of the RLC. So that's one strong confidence. And if we find confidence, between a moving average like the 21 EMA on the weekly, or the 200 SMA or EMA on the daily, or like a 377 on the 4 hour, something like that. If we get that kind of confidence, then I'm going to think that buying a breakout and retest of that area is probably going to be a very profitable thing to do. So let's put on the moving averages. Right, so obviously, as you can see here, we have the green 55 exponential on the weekly coming in right in the middle of the RLC. So this adds some confidence to this area, obviously. And we used the 21 EMA, sorry, the green 55 EMA here as resistance. Sorry. And we now broke above, so buying a retest of this area is obviously... You know what, I'm actually gonna lower this a little bit to right down here, because I want to catch the 55 EMA here. So without having, without watching the weekly, I will know that the 55 EMA is at the bottom of this area here. So let's look at the daily. Right, so we're not really seeing any confidence between the moving averages on the daily, but we are seeing a very nice, like, this is perfect, guys. Look at this. We have the yellow 21 EMA crossing the 200, this purple 200 EMA, and this white 200 simple moving averages. So we see the so we see the 21 crossing these two to the upside, and right at the bull cross here we had the most beautiful retest, right? So when you see price action like this, right, you have price breaking through the 200 simple and the 200 EMA with a very strong impulsive move. You then see price coming down to retest that area again. You had a retest here, but like when you see price come down and retest a bull cross like this, that's just gonna be a buy, right? Because the chances of it actually bouncing is very high when you have, I mean, it's confident with this SR level or SR area, I should say here. So it's just very nice confidence. So buying this one is obviously a very good trade. So right, so we're not seeing any confluence with the daily moving averages and the RLC, but taking this into consideration that we had this bull cross here and the bounce off it, it's looking very strong, right? So price action is obviously looking very strong. So taking that into consideration and the fact that we have the green 55 EMA on the weekly right here, if we actually do close a daily above here, longing the retest of this level, wouldn't be a bad idea. Not a bad idea at all. If you want higher confirmation, you should wait for a daily open and close above this area. So the thing about waiting for only a close is, you're always going to run the risk of buying a fake out. So let's see if I can find a fake out here. Yeah, here's a very good example, right? Right, so you see this area here, confluent with the 200 simple moving average here, this white line, also confluent with the Bintpot RLC. So you're seeing this and you're thinking like, this is going to be a perfect setup, right? I want to wait for a daily close above, I'm going to long the retest. But the thing is, if you only wait for a daily close above, you run the risk of buying a fake out. And basically what a fake out is when the candle closes above, but the next candle closes below. So a very ugly fake out. And looking at current price action, it's very possible that we will get a fake out here too. So I would personally wait for daily open and close above this area. I would setup would look like something like this. I'm not going to show the exact setup because I'm going to obviously share it in the Nest Club if I do post a setup. So, but general idea is to long this area, stop obviously somewhere for a very tight stop somewhere below these wicks. And if you have higher targets and you want a more conservative stop, you should probably place it below the 21 EMA or the 200 simple, but that's yeah, it's 20%, so yeah, no way. And first target would probably be the top of the RLC, and next target would be somewhere up in this area and this area. So right, so that's EOS USDT. Let's take a look at let's see if we can find another one. XMR. Right, so I actually have an active trade on XMR BTC. Whoops, I'm not supposed to show that one. Whatever. So yeah, let's show this one. Here we go. I'm probably gonna have to edit that one out because that's an active trade. Well, fuck it. I guess it's some good advertisement for the Nest, right? We have some really nice setups going in the Nest. So if you want to see more setups like that one, check out thebirdnest.com, right? There you go. XMR BTC. Let's see what we get. Right, so here we go. We have I've probably shown you guys this setups many times before, right? And I remember a couple of weeks ago I was just spamming the Nest Club chat with this weekly W right here. So here we go. We have a weekly W. Very nice. I want to basically, there's a couple of ways to play this, right? You buy down here in anticipation of a breakout, or you wait for the actual breakout and you long the retest, targeting, you know, these areas up here, right? So we'll probably like first take profit in this area right here, somewhere in you know, along those lines. So let's look at the weekly. Let's look at the moving averages, right? So we have the 21 EMA here, confluent with you know, it's right below the resistance. We could probably lower the resistance down into this area right here, using that wick up here. So yeah, we had 21 EMA confluent with resistance here, so trading above the 21 EMA on the weekly is obviously a sign of strength. So pretty good, looking good. Let's look at the daily. We have the bull cross between the 21 EMA and the 200 simple. Let's see if we also have a bull cross on the, nope, we have the 200 EMA up here. So the 200 EMA is acting as a resistance. So if you want to be like super careful with this one, I would probably wait for the 21 EMA to cross to the upside. But like looking at the general alt market right now, I'm seeing a lot of coins that are looking exactly like XMR is right now, right? So, and a lot of coins are breaking out. So buying this one in anticipation of a breakout is probably not a bad idea, especially when you have like the 21 EMA crossing the 200 simple to the upside, and we have the 55 crossing the 99 to the upside. And it looks like in a couple of days we will have the 55 exponential and the 99 exponential also crossing the 200 simple to the upside. And yeah, so that's basically it. That's my idea on XMR, and kind of like how, as you can see, my style of trading is very simple. I look for horizontal levels, right? I look for horizontal support and resistances, and my bread and butter is altcoins, right? And like when I first started trading altcoins on Binance, we didn't have the option to short. So I'm biased in longing. Like my win rate is much higher when I long altcoins compared to shorting altcoins. So my main setup is very simple. I wait for a high time frame resistance to break to the upside. I'm gonna wait for a daily open and close above the resistance. I'm then gonna long the retest of that resistance, targeting the next resistance above. And when you have confluence between when you have confluence between the horizontal resistance level, and if you have confluence between, let's say, the midpoint of the RLC and a major moving average, that could be a sign that you might want to like increase the risk on the trade, or you know, increase your position size, or just don't take the trades that won't show you these kinds of confluence to up your win rate. Because the more confluence you see, obviously most of the time that's a better setup, right? So looking at XMR, I'm going to show you ICX, Icon BTC, right? And let's do a quick comparison here. So you had a similar price structure between XMR, right? So you look at XMR and ICX, Icon. So if you look at XMR here, you have price basically consolidating here, moving down, using this as resistance, and ICX is looking very similar. And we had ICX breaking out, and a good idea on ICX could be, you know, to long the retest. I mean, the most obvious setup would obviously be to, you know, wait for this white line, the 200 simple, wait for a daily open and close above the 200 simple, like we did get right here. I would then long the retest of the 200 simple. That would be Just a beautiful trade. I mean, look at this. This is a textbook example on how to trade moving averages. Long the 200 simple here, take profits on the 200 EMA here. I mean, that's a beautiful, like, almost like 25% move. That's just beautiful. Like, textbook example of how to trade the moving averages, right? So looking at XMR and Icon, I expect XMR to look very similar to how ICX is looking right now. So in a couple of weeks or a couple of days, I'm expecting XMR to break out. And yeah, so let's look at Theta. Yeah, I have no idea how to pronounce that one. Right, so well, Theta? Yeah, I have no idea. I don't even know what the fuck this is, but it's an altcoin. It's looking good, so I'm gonna trade it. Right, so here we have this coin that I can't pronounce, being down here at support, confluent with 200 SMA, the 200 simple. So, like I said before, we have a horizontal support and resistance level right here, being confluent with a major moving average on daily. Let's see if we also find some confluence with the weekly. No, not really. So I'm gonna go off daily, obviously. So this is this level has already been tested, and most of the times I don't want to buy like the second or the third retest unless we have a proper confluent between, you know, the moving averages. And looking at this chart right here, these two tests right here were very quickly bought up, right? So coming down to test this area again, confluent with the 200 simple moving average, I would say is definitely a trade worth taking. This type of confluence is most of the times it's gonna work out pretty well, especially when you already have had, you know, the bull cross between the 21 EMA crossing the 200 simple, and we got the 55 and the 99 EMA crossing the 200 simple too. So Theta, whatever you want to call it, is looking pretty good, right? So I expect to move up towards next resistance above, you know, towards the 1.3k area. So yeah, very simple setup right here. And do we have another one? Yeah, FET BTC. Let's take a look at Fetch. I think FET is cooler. FET BTC. So this isn't really my isn't really a setup I usually take, because I want to see, like, in every setup I take, I want to see strength before I buy. A lot of people, they look at this chart and they say like, oh man, it's so cheap, right? It's so cheap. Well, I look at this, like, look at the weekly. It's just bullshit, right? It's just, I mean, you wouldn't want to buy something like this, right? This is just pure death, right? Altcoin death right here. But let's look at the horizontals, right? So right here we have a level, pretty obvious level right here. Down here we have another level that I'm watching in this general area right here. Let's see. Obviously not exact, but I'm watching this area here, right? And if I remember correctly, I remember looking at this one a while back and looking for the October monthly open. Not October, November. $413. Right, so this October level here is actually, you know, being used as pretty good support here too. And if we do reclaim the November monthly open right here, that would be a sign of strength, right? And if we do reclaim this area, that would be, you know, further confirmation of a potential reversal going on. So if we do see a bounce down here, and you know, if Fetch AI starts to reclaim previously lost support, I would be interested in longing this for a mid to long term trade, targeting, you know, higher levels up in this area. So it's at, you know, cycle lows right here. So but I'm not gonna buy at current prices because it's just looking very bearish, right? But if we start you know, reclaiming lost levels, I'm gonna start getting interested in actually long in this, because, you know, most of the times when you buy, you know, when you buy a show of strength at the cycle lows, you can get some really powerful moves to the upside, right? And if you want to be super conservative on FET, you should probably wait for a daily open and close above this area. Because if we get a daily open and close above this area, we would have a confirmed trend reversal on the daily, because you have the daily high here. So if we start, you know, trading above this area, I would say we have a confirmed trend reversal on the daily. So if you want to be super conservative and super safe, wait for a daily open and close above this area. If you want to, you know, if you feel comfortable risk, you know, using it, you know, a little bit higher risk trade, but obviously higher reward too, you could long the reclaim of November monthly open with the stops below here. Setup would look something like this, right? Even up to this resistance right here, you would have a 2.35 R trade, which is pretty good. So I would probably use this level as first take profit. And if we reclaim this area, I expect a move up to this area right here for a 30% move. But remember, guys, this is a very risky trade to take, because only reclaiming the November monthly open isn't really a confirmation of a trend reversal, right? Maybe on the 4 hour. Right, so on the 4 hour we have a double bottom, a W, right? Looks something like this. So if we do break out here and retest the breakout level, I mean, yeah, sure, you could long this one, anticipate, you know, for a very short-term trade, like wait for a breakout here of this double bottom, stops below this area, and take profit in the middle of this resistance zone up here. But that's only like a 1.8, so not really a proper risk to reward trade I would take. I would wait for clear show of strength, right? All right, so I think that's all I wanted to take a look at today. If you guys like this kind of live streams, I would appreciate some feedback. If you guys think they are too long, or if I'm just rambling, if you guys like this kind of analysis, please tell me, so I can, you know, do more live streams like this one. And for me, I think it's easier to do live streams, because when I do like proper YouTube videos, I have to edit it and all that kind of shit, so it takes forever. So for me, it's just easier to do a live stream. So if you guys like this kind of stuff, I'm glad to continue providing you guys with more live analysis on altcoins. Obviously, it's not going to be like like it. I probably have to plan them better, because I feel like I'm just I have no idea what to talk about sometimes. Right, so I'm done. Finito. I'm just gonna stop streaming because I have no idea what to talk about. So take care, guys, and see you next time.